Are there any reports that a Tesla stock buyback is finally taking place? It is nearly impossible to stay up to date on all of the Tesla news that there is. To learn more about this, be sure to keep watching and tuning in. Almost always in the news is Tesla, primarily due to its contentious CEO, Elon Musk. Most claim that Musk's contentious behavior is really a publicity stunt to help Tesla gain attention. Investors in Tesla were alarmed when Musk recently purchased Twitter stock, sparking a major issue. You will discover today whether or not there is a Tesla stock buyback at last. As the price of Tesla's shares continues to decline, billionaire Leo Kogan, who asserts to be the third largest individual shareholder, urged the automaker to announce a $15 billion stock buyback in May. He wrote on Twitter, "Please ask Martin Vischa, head of investor relations at Tesla, if I am Professor Leo Kogan and the third largest individual shareholder of Tesla, who owns more Tesla shares than that of ARK Invest and Baron Capital." Tesla's senior director of investor relations, Martin Vischa, responded, "I can confirm this." Kogan stated in a separate tweet addressed to Vischa that the business ought to make its intentions to repurchase $5 billion of Tesla stock this year and $10 billion the following year clear right now. He went on to say that Tesla should fund the repurchase using its free cash flow and not deplete its $18 billion in cash reserves. Kogan stated in another tweet that Tesla's first quarter free cash flow was $2.2 billion. He continued by saying that after capital expenditures are taken into account, he anticipates it to rise to $8 billion this year and $17 billion the next year. Additionally, he stated that Tesla may repurchase its cheap stock in addition to investing in additional factories, its Optimus bot, and fully autonomous driving. One strategy used by businesses to try to return capital to shareholders is the stock buyback, in which a publicly traded company uses cash to purchase its own shares on the open market. The results call for Tesla's second quarter had been eagerly anticipated by investors and investment enthusiasts. Accordingly, they hoped the following questions had been addressed on the aforementioned earnings call. What is the status of the 4680 ramp? Has Giga Texas started to generate sales? When will the Cybertruck be made accessible to the public? Is Tesla thinking about repurchasing stock? Despite being posed at the prior results call, this question went unanswered. In order to effectively raise the stock price, Tesla's stockholders want the company to buy back its own shares. Investors have been grumbling about the recent decline in Tesla share prices and are hoping for a temporary rebound. They think that Tesla's stock price can increase if it does in fact buy back its own shares. Tesla officially made available the Q2 2022 earnings call a few days ago. The EV company announced its second quarter 2022 financial results and shareholders' letter following market closure. Wall Street as a whole anticipated $16.521 billion in revenue and $1.81 per share in earnings before to the earnings call. The forced suspension of Gigafactory Shanghai has resulted in around 250,000 deliveries instead of the much higher projected 300,000, marking a rare quarter-over-quarter decline for Tesla. However, the automaker posted revenues of $16.934 billion, or almost $400 million more than Wall Street predicted, and earnings per share of $2.27 non-GAAP was $1.81 expected by Wall Street, according to the financial data that Tesla recently announced. During the quarter, the company was able to raise its cash position by $0.8 billion to $18.3 billion. We continue to make significant progress across the business during the second quarter of 2022, though we faced certain challenges, including limited production and shutdowns in Shanghai for the majority of the quarter, Tesla said in its results call for the second quarter. Automobile gross margin dropped to 27.9% from 32.9% in the previous quarter and 28.4% in the previous year due to increased competition for battery cells and other parts used in electric vehicles, as well as inflation. In addition, the business brought in $344 million in revenue from automobile regulatory credits during the second quarter. According to the company's shareholder presentation, that represents a $10 million, or over 3%, decrease from the same time in 2021. Tesla's new factory outside of Berlin produced more than 1,000 cars a week in June, according to Musk, and he anticipates that the company's new Austin, Texas factory will do the same in the coming months. Musk stated, "I think inflation will decline towards the end of this year," in response to questions about inflation, but he also cautioned investors to not put too much stock in that prediction. Zachary Kirkhorn, Tesla's chief financial officer, stated, "Austin and Berlin ramp inefficiencies will continue to weigh on our margins for the balance of the year. However, the impact should reduce as we increase ramp." During the call, executives stated that Tesla is now observing a declining trend for the majority of commodities that will terminate this year or begin next year. Musk did, however, note that there were certain exceptions. "The processing of lithium is insane," he declared, and he once more urged business people to get into the lithium refining industry. "You can't lose. It's a license to print money," he stated. What do you anticipate from Tesla in the upcoming quarter? Tell us in the space provided for comments below. Musk stated, "Despite all of these difficulties, Q2 was one of the best quarters in Tesla history. The prolonged shutdown of our Shanghai factory made it a unique quarter for Tesla. Most significantly, we set production records in Shanghai and Fremont in June." To address the first query, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, has stated that while 4680 is not significant for this year, it will be next year. This information is likely of interest to investors. He clarified that as they continue to increase capacity, they have installed the second generation of production equipment for 4680 cells in Texas, as well as other reputable factories like Fremont and Shanghai. Musk revealed that they have given over 100,000 owners access to the FSD beta, which allows them to drive on city streets while on autopilot. According to him, the proprietors are delighted with the system's capabilities, and the business will keep making weekly improvements. Regarding the eagerly awaited Cybertruck release, Musk stated that they hope to start production of the vehicle by the middle of the following year. According to him, the team's ongoing priorities are some future platform design and getting Cybertruck ready for production. Tesla's chief financial officer, Zachary Kirkhorn, reports that new plants in Austin and Berlin are making good progress through their initial ramps. The Shanghai factory resumed full production, and the Fremont factory, which was assisted by the Reno team, set new production records. Additionally, he stated that although 4680 is progressing, they are still using supplier cells because they don't have enough of them to ramp Texas and Berlin. By year's end, they anticipate increased total 4680 output to surpass 1,000 units per week. The Q2 results call did not include any information regarding the Tesla stock purchase, despite the fact that many queries from investors and analysts were addressed during the call. Once more, a stock buyback occurs when a publicly traded firm purchases shares of its own stock on the open market using cash. This could be a company's way of giving money back to shareholders that it doesn't need for operations or other investments. Value in this context refers to an increasing share price. Having said that, investors in Tesla are advocating for a repurchase of the company's shares, particularly now that it is trading between $700 and $800, up 0.2% at $816.73 today. It should be mentioned that both investors and analysts have quite high price assessments. Sadly, despite the desire of investors for an answer, this request was not made and was not addressed at the Q2 earnings call. Naturally, there are other ways to ask that question, particularly given that Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, is virtually always on Twitter and frequently responds to customers' tweets. Maybe Musk will finally address this issue one day. To get additional information and insights into Tesla's financial performance and market dynamics, be sure to visit Tesla stock and view our other videos.